Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans. Welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'll be introducing my guests in a few seconds. Today, Ringside crew, is a very special day for Dudes at Ringside and for me. Today is the 5-year anniversary of Dudes at Ringside. We have been around for 5 long years now. A lot of podcasts don't even make it past the first 3 episodes. Me and my former co-host, we did a lot. We started out just a pre and post show. And then we had Foxy. Then we had Kiara. Then we had all these wrestlers coming through. And then I finally got to a female wrestler from Australia. And it changed ever since. And oh my gosh, he's going to come back soon. I'm going to pause this. It just went so far. We had her. We had Izzy. We had all these Australian wrestlers, but now I have another picture frame to add to that end of that list. It's not the end of the list for Australia, but there are future plaques going to be added to this wall. Let's give a warm 5-year anniversary Dudes at Ringside welcome to Jimmy Zero. Welcome, Jimmy.
How are you?
Good.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. Congratulations on 5 years. I'm really proud and really honored to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Thank you. So if my American fans are not familiar with you, and why would they not be, introduce yourself.
I'm Jimmy. I'm a 19-year-old pro wrestler from Sydney, Australia. I've wrestled here in Australia, South Korea, Japan, New Zealand. And that's just this year alone. So looking forward.
Wow. So who trained you, Jimmy?
I got trained at the All-Star Wrestling Academy here in Sydney. My head coach is Keegan Brettle, a wrestler who's been to Japan 5 times. He trained with Lance Storm. He's trained in Canada, in CZW. He's done tours of America, South Korea, New Zealand. So yeah, very, very, very successful for sure.
Wow. And it's small world because your trainer got trained by the same person that I always look highly upon is Kiara. Kiara was trained by Lance Storm as well. She's from England. And
wow, okay.
Whoever got taught by Lance Storm, they always get taught the perfect stuff. And they always get very stern and very hard. Not hard in the ring, but you know what I mean? I guess to you, when you first found the school, because nowadays your generation, I feel so old by saying that, but back in the day, it was so much harder to find stuff. You had to go through the yellow pages or it's hearsay. But for you, the first time you stepped through the doors, like what were your emotions like?
Honestly, just really excited. Like, it's been something I've wanted to do since I was 5 years old, and like I've been waiting 11 years. And so I just, I was buzzing with anticipation. I couldn't wait to get in there and start training and start really living out my dream.
Awesome. So what was the toughest part of the training when you first joined?
I think it's all fun and games until you start bumping. When you start hitting the ring, I feel like that's where most people tap out. Like that's where most people give up and they break. But you've sort of got to learn to love it, learn to get used to it and condition your body. But yeah, the bumping's always sort of been second nature to me. Like I've done gymnastics since I was 5 years old. I've played a lot of sports. And so getting thrown around and hitting the ground has always been something that I've sort of grown up with in a sense.
Oh, wow. Awesome. So when you finally got the green light, Jimmy, to do your first match, what kind of match was it?
I actually had my first match against my head trainer, Keegan, who I was talking about previously. It was a 7-minute match where I just beaten. I think I got maybe 4 moves in, and then the rest of it was me getting thrown around and yeah, quite a physical match. I got chopped twice, and I remember I went backstage after that match and I coughed up a little blood into the sink. So it wasn't the prettiest welcome to the business, but it was a welcome to the business nonetheless. And yeah, definitely taught me a few lessons.
Mm. So when did you get your wrestling gear, and who made them?
So my first gear I had of wrestling was actually jean shorts, which I ordered off like some website like Temu, and I got some of the kick pads from one of my trainers, and then I just wore like Converse shoes. Then I had some elbow pads and some knee pads, and that was it. That was the look. Some tape around the wrist. A very very cheap first attire, and I wore that for my first maybe like 20 matches. And then I got some purple and yellow tights. That was my second set of gear, which I got from Dinky Dye. Um, and then about maybe 6 matches after wearing those, 6 to 10, I got the gear which I have now, which is my red and black, which is what I've worn all over Japan, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand. I think that's the gear that has sort of picked up most of the traction. But I do plan on getting some new sets of gear very soon.
Awesome. So when you went to like Japan and South Korea, people say that it's like a whole different world over there within the wrestling community. Did you find it different than the Australian wrestling world?
Oh, for sure, for sure. Like Japan, wrestling there is huge. Like it's almost a way of life. You wake up, you eat, you sleep, you wrestle. It's not like a hobby or something you do on the weekends as it is here in Australia. It's very much a way of life and a culture. Um, Same thing with Korea. Korea has got like a growing scene. The big promotion there is PWS Korea, run by Shiho. And like once again, he's really building up wrestling in Korea to be a big thing. They recently sold out a venue like 3,000 people. It's not as big as it is in Japan, but it is definitely growing for sure. But I think a lot of the cultures sort of cross over there in terms of wrestling and treating it as a way of life almost.
Yeah. Are there any wrestlers that you wanted to wrestle in 2026 that you didn't have on the list for 2025, or you had but you didn't get a chance to like you've seen them but you didn't get a chance to like work with them?
For sure. I think there's a lot of wrestlers around my age who are really doing like incredible things, like there's a guy in America. I don't know if you know Jackson Drake, the current WWE Evolve champion. Like that would be a cool match to have. You have guys like Leon Slater, Javon Evans in WWE as well. You have guys like Leon Cage in the UK, who's like a year younger than me. So yeah, just like young wrestlers for sure. Like I'd really like to get in there and sort of have a match. Morgan Dash in America, Kai Toa here in Australia. In terms of older guys who I look up to, I would say like a lot of the big wrestlers here in Australia, a lot of people who have sort of paved the way for the future generations. Guys like Robbie Eagles, Adam Brooks, Slex, Carl Fletcher, Grayson Waller. Those would be some cool matches to have. And then other names like just international other names, probably Joe Lando out of England, who I watched a bunch growing up when he was like bouncing on a trampoline on a teddy bear. And so to watch his career take off and win belts and championships all over UK, Rev Pro, that's also a very cool thing for sure.
Awesome. Like with me being from the United States and you're from Australia, like I know when you've mentioned that you want to come to the United States and hit our scene. Are you prepared for the different time zone? Because like I know people that come here, they're like, oh my god, I get hit with a brick. Like
Sure. I know the time zone over there is insane. Like
You're good.
it does change quite a bit. Um, but I think yeah, no, like the time zone there is insane. But I love this so much that I'm willing to make that sacrifice. And jet lag's temporary. And I'm really used to jumping on flights and doing long hours and wrestling with very little sleep.
Mm. Yeah, so I love food. What would you say your top five all time favorite like foods like after a show or like if it's a cheat day? What would say you say those foods that would be in that cheat on that cheat list?
Funnily enough, like I am really locking in on my diet next year. Like I'm cutting out all fast food. I haven't had any fast food for like 6 months now.
Oh man,
Um,
bless you.
but
I could not.
it,
I could never do that, Jimmy. I'd be
if I had a cheat meal, the go-to would definitely be like a quarter pounder from McDonald's
oh god.
or uh, some Guzman white burgers. That would be things really like really nice, like a cake or something, donuts. Those would be the go-to, I reckon.
Awesome. Yeah. We have a lot of bad things and but good things here in the United States to eat. Like, well, if you're gonna be over like in the PA, the other side of PA, remember we have Philadelphia where they have Philly cheesesteaks, like the Philly cheesesteaks, man. And I'm not too sure the Pittsburgh meals, but you can find something interesting in Philadelphia in that Pittsburgh Philadelphia area, like that will be like I should have never ate this. Like it's so bad for me. Um, if you had to choose five different um five different people to travel with amongst your friends that you train with, who would they be and why?
All right. So I've actually got two travel buddies who I do most like trips with. It's Keegan Brettle, my head coach, and the puppeteer. I don't know if you know the puppeteer. He is the most cooked guy you'll ever meet. Like his mind is fried, um, but he's just a joy to be around. He's always doing something stupid. For example, like when we were in Japan, he had no Wi-Fi or no data on his phone, and we got off at the station, and he forgot to get off, and he was left stranded on the train. I think like those two guys, there's no such thing as a boring day when you're with them. They are like two just incredible guys to travel with. In terms of like three other guys, I reckon a lot of the guys I train with at the All Star Wrestling Academy would just be mad fun to sort of go on a trip with them, and there is a strong like brotherhood between all of us, and yeah, just going on a trip with them would be mad. Yeah,
Awesome. That's awesome. Do they have like people that you could actually bring with you if you had to take a trip or somewhere around Australia that you know that you can grab them and you're not like do I bring this guy? He may leave me on the side of the road if I have to pee. Like he'll
yeah.
wait for me, he don't ditch me, that's a good thing. I like that. Um, is there anywhere my fans could find you on social media, Jimmy?
My main one's Instagram, at Jimmy Zero Pro. I do have Facebook and TikTok under the same name, but honestly, if you want all the good content where I basically spend like all of my time, it's probably Instagram. I also have a YouTube as well, Jimmy Zero or at Jimmy Pro Wrestler on YouTube. But those would be the two big socials. Yeah.
Awesome. Jimmy, I want to thank you so much for coming on the 55-year anniversary of Dudes at Ringside. Don't forget, fans, to subscribe to the Joe Panther Variety Show. That's the only place you can find Dudes at Ringside. And follow us here on the Joe Panther Variety Show on YouTube. And follow my buddy Jimmy on all of his social medias. You can find us in Instagram on the big Insta, as the kids would say these days. Find it on Facebook under the real Dudes at Ringside. And you can also find us on TikTok where all the awesome promos, like you possibly will see a Jimmy promo on there. You'll see one by Princess from England. You'll find one from Kiara. Everybody. Everybody's promo are on the Dudes at Ringside page on Instagram and or on YouTube. I am Joe Panther the Third. Your turn. This is Jimmy Zero, and he's an awesome young wrestler. And we will catch you in the next one.